chat with you tonight because I'm co-hosting with Candela tonight. Woohoo! Isn't that awesome? I know. I'm super excited about it. Anyways, you guys, I hope everybody is doing phenomenal. I hope this is a wonderful Monday. Yay! I hope it's a wonderful Monday for you. And I had something, a major sort of transformative happening to me. And I thought that maybe I will share this with you as well. Sorry. Because I think it's an important thing. It's an important thing for our personal growth, and it's an important thing in our businesses. And I was very inspired by my spirits. They pushed me to talk about it. So this is what I want to do today. I want to talk to you about core values and why they are extremely, important. Why is it important to flush them out? So let me move a little bit. I actually have a mic going on here, so I hope that it's going to help hearing me better. So I had something happen recently to me, and it's sort of business, sort of personal life related, and a lot of my life is personal and business related because I'm a spiritual entrepreneur. I do business with a lot of people that I know. This is how I know how to trust. But I felt a certain thing happened that the details of it are not important. It's actually not a major thing. It's a more on a personal level. And I felt like I was abandoned, and I felt like I was thrown under the bus. And it surprised me because I took it very personally. It hit me very deeply. I couldn't understand what's going on. I knew it's triggering my recent divorce. I just really started feeling into it. And thank goodness I have a fabulous partner who is also a spiritual person. And he created the right space to ground me so I can go into that. And I can be forgiving with myself. And I can let my spirit sort of descend into this place, so I can cry, so I can let it out, and so I can investigate it with my spirits, because this is the most important thing for me. When I feel that I'm emotionally reacting to something on that level, I know that it's really big for my progress. And I know when my spirits are talking to me and they're saying you got to stay in the space for a little longer in order for you to figure out what's going on, in order for you to mend and grow and work through it. And the more I descended into this space and the more I started thinking about it, my spirits came through and they explained to me that this is a core value, meaning my core value is that I do not abandon. My core value is that I will stay standing by you, even if I am the last person standing by you. Because this is how I do things. I don't leave people behind, right? I don't throw people under the bus. This is me. And I'm not saying that this is the correct way to be. I'm not saying that this is the righteous thing. I'm not saying that exactly in your situation, this is how it should be. None of this. I'm not saying anything of that. What I am saying, though, that my personal digging got me into that place. And moreover, I kept having a conversation with my spirit. And again, thank goodness I have Jaya in my life, because he kept holding my hand. So I felt like I'm grounded enough and I have the space to go descend into that sort of Demeter Persephone realization spot and keep having a conversation with my spirits. And then my ancestors came in. So it became even fucking stronger. And we kept talking and I realized, well, this is a core value. But that core value is not just a core value, okay, I know that this is the kind of person that I am. Because I know that this is the kind of person that I am. Sometimes I get naive. Sometimes I can find myself in a situation where, like, wait a second, why am I like this and other people are not? And this is something that I'm working on. But what I realized is that this is the type of people that I'm going to allow close to me, whether it's my personal life or it's in business. People that I am going to be calling family are people that need to share this core value. This is nothing like I can just, oh, maybe we're going to act like this today, maybe we're not going to act like this today, maybe it's something that I can exchange for something else. Absolutely no. In order for me to feel safe, in order for me to blossom and be successful, and let the other person or people, whoever is in my circle, to be able to blossom and be successful as well, it's important that they have this core value and that we share this core value. So what I'm saying here is that I'm not expecting you guys to have the same core value, but I'm strongly suggesting fleshing out those core values, figuring out what are the core values for you that are not compromisable, right? We're not going to compromise about it. We have to have those things in order for the relationship to work. Think about close relationships to you. They're almost like marriages. In order for it to work, there are some very important core things that need to be in sync, that need to work. For me, this is a core value. What is your core value? Because the minute you bring it and you share it on the table and you say, hey, I agree on this core soul level, we are in agreement. That means that from here we can build and we can grow and we're going to have an understanding. Because otherwise what's happening is that you're going to create a reality that's going to be very similar to the Tower card in the Tarot, right? Just think about it. I'm going to try to find it, but whatever it is, that the traditional meaning for the Tower card is very Martian energy here. Is about building something that the foundation is not right, is not correct, and then the lightning strikes and shit is just falling apart and hitting the fan because your foundation wasn't there. And what is foundation, people? Foundation is not the money, it's not the cash, it's not funding, it's not furniture, it's your core values. How do you know you can grow something? Because you're going to have the same core values. And this has been huge for me. This understanding has been huge for me. Again, I said it, dealing with the specific situation reminded me or brought me back into my divorce space and that kind of mindfuckery. And it was, as much as it was very intense, I also was very curious, why is that happening? And then I got this huge realization about, one of the reasons that my divorce happened is that our core values became very, very different. And we weren't smart enough. We were young. We weren't smart enough to connect and be like, hey, wait a second, something is wrong. Or we're seeing something very important situations in very different light. Business is exactly the same. Also, your clients, right? Sometimes we maybe lose clients or we're not getting enough clients and we start getting worried. So first of all, from the perspective of abundance mind, this is something that you have to figure out how to deal with, because that worry is going to create less clients and more void. But the positive of it, think about it, is that you want to get clients with the same core values like you. It not maybe is not discussed in email exchange. A lot of times, as a good reader, you will see it in your reading that the person represents something within you. You reflect each other well. But those clients that have the same core values with you will be like, damn, I love this reading. You hit it on the nail. I totally understand. I understand what you're telling me. Understanding in a reading is a huge thing. Because we can, and it brings me back to actually a Periscope that I did yesterday about being an authentic-cat, meaning figuring out your authentic voice and working with your throat chakra to figure that out. Today we're talking much more on our heart level chakra as well as our crown chakra and the third eye, but in the heart center and actually the root chakra as well, because our core values, we cannot be rooted, we cannot be grounded without our core values. But if you put your core values in the business and you figure them out, it doesn't matter. You could have an intrication with somebody, right? You could have an incident where you weren't feeling comfortable. Something happened and it didn't work out. The good thing is that you figured out a core value. You figured out something extremely important that you cannot compromise over, because this is not who you are. Because if you're going to compromise upon it, it's going to take a little bit of your humanity. And I know I'm using big words here, but that's the truth. It's going to take your authenticity, a tiny bit of your authenticity, and that's a big deal. Even a tiny bit of authenticity is taken away, it's a big deal. And it's a soul journey. We constantly need to be in a state of questioning ourselves, of challenging ourselves, of being forgiving with ourselves. And this is what I'm very grateful, is that I was able to go through that process in a very forgiving, self-forgiving way, which allowed me to be very objective about what's going on, but not to be critical and not to be like, oh, crap, fuck that, fuck this person is doing this to me, or they're not giving me that, or whatnot, because this is not productive. What productive is to figure out what is bothering me, and to go into that level of figuring out how, if it triggers something within you, why is it triggering that? And if it's hitting a nerve, a core value is a type of a nerve. And if it does, bam, you already grew million spiritual light years, I think, because you figured out something that's very big and very important. You figured out the core value. So maybe I can say, well, I can compromise on certain things, right? I can compromise maybe on certain behavior, but there are certain things that I'm not going to compromise, and that makes me a better businesswoman. It makes me a better person in general, and it eliminates intrications. So figure out your core values. A good way to figure out your core values, if you don't know where to start, is to figure out what is triggering you, or who is triggering you, and how it is. If it's really bothering you, like, shit, something is really bothering me, this person is saying something, or when we are interacting, I don't even know why, but something is really triggering something. Create a safe environment. Figure out your safe spot. Put actually a timer on, okay? So if you don't know how to go into this Persephone, Demeter, Hades kind of spot without coming back up, put a timer on it and be like, okay, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna bitch, I'm gonna, I don't know, yell, I'm gonna figure shit out, but I'm gonna give it 45 minutes. Because I know that if I go over 45 minutes, I'm going to a place where it's really hard for me to come back, and I have other things to take care of, I have other people to deal with, I have business, whatever it is, okay? I suggest do it in increments of not more than 45 minutes. If you can do it within 10 minutes, I'm a triple Gemini, I can do it in increments of 10 minutes because I'm crazy. Do that, because I know that my mood swings are up and down, but I know them really well, and I know what are my mood swings, and when I'm picking up energy from other people and suddenly starting to deal with other people's shit. But that's a whole other Periscope, and you can let me know if we want to talk about how to figure out if it's your mood swings, or if you're empath and you're intuitive and you're picking up somebody else's. Anyway, to just close this thing off and to sum this up, figuring out your core values can be a little bit of a painful and a hardcore process, but it's very important. It's very important process because it will help you to attract to you in life the right love partners, the right clients, the right business partners, what have you. And it will help you stay in alignment with who you are, and allow you to grow in positive ways for your higher self and for your spirit, and not pull you back. Of course, life is not perfect. We are making mistakes. Try to be non-judgmental. Try to be objective but not critical. And remember, self-forgiveness is key. One of my most favorite what is it, slogans or whatever they called, and I picked it up when I was recovering from my burn injury, is I am not perfect, but parts of me are excellent. Okay? So what I'm trying to tell you is that none of us is perfect, but parts of us are excellent. Those parts, on a soul level, on a spiritual level, on higher level, on intellectual level, are our core values, people. Okay? So those parts, the excellent parts, are core values. Figure that shit out, and then you'll see how wonderfully you're going to start finding your partners in crime, right? Coming to you, interacting with you. The universe will be bringing to you the right people, the right connections, and the right souls. Okay? So good luck on your journey for your core values. Remember, be loving to yourself, forgiving to yourself, compassionate to yourself, and have a wonderful, wonderful moon day. I love you. I honor you deeply from within myself, and I am extremely grateful for you taking the time and watching this. Okay? Have a good day. Bye.